Welcome to Streetside Productions.
An organization called Streetside Productions puts the cameras in the hands of teenagers who've been caught up in the criminal justice system to help them tell their stories.
Welcome to Streetside Productions at EBAYC, a program for youth on probation in Oakland, California, giving them a chance to learn something new and how to express themselves with digital video.
But I done been down the other path, you feel me? Been locked up 13 times.
I like to be in front of camera now too. Behind the camera or in front of camera, I have anything to do with it.
We can do it at a little probation thing. What make you think that we can't do it, doing it for MTV or BET or doing it wherever?
Streetside Productions has produced over 100 community-related documentary pieces created solely by Oakland youth.
If I never joined Streetside when I was 13, I would have been locked up, I would have been dead, I would have been something in the streets, ain't doing no good.
If I didn't come to this program, I'm gonna keep it real. I probably would have been out there in the streets, you know, caught up in some mess or starting trouble. Or
if it wasn't for Streetside, I'd probably still be on probation or in the streets doing some stuff that I ain't supposed to be doing. So in a lot of ways, it's got me out the streets.
I mean, I can honestly say Streetside Productions and learning this video skill has changed my life. If I didn't know this skill, I honestly don't have any idea as to what I would be doing with myself.
It's funny because it's a video production training program, right? And you'd imagine that the point is to make all the young people into video makers or filmmakers. But I don't think that's ever really been the point for Streetside Productions. We wanted to give young people a chance to tell their own stories from their own perspectives, from their own voices, and a way to empower them so they can express themselves.
We work with a very special demographic of students who tend to slip through the cracks and tend to not be served or tend to be the ones that people in society look at like they're not gonna be anything.
You feel me? I get looked at like, what is he doing in here? Who he finna rob or who he finna beat up? You know what I'm saying? But when I was there, it was like people had their focus, like, you know what I'm saying? So this black man is really doing something with his life. He is doing something, so it made me feel like I was really somebody, you feel me? Because I am somebody. It's not just about a movie situation. It's about you in there learning how to handle yourself as a young man or a young woman, you feel me? You learning something that's gonna benefit you, and trust me, when you learn it the first time, you ain't never gonna forget it.
it helped me and my brothers in a lot of ways because it kept us out the street.
It wasn't a waste of time because they actually got something out of it, you know, it actually taught people something.
Some of the things that are taught in Streetside is the fact that media is an outlet, you know, and I think a lot of times young people are just the victim of whatever media portrays, you know what I mean, or whatever propaganda media wants to push on them.
When we first started Streetside Productions, it was a way to give young people the tools and the skills to tell their stories. Right? We know that young people, especially young people of color from a city like Oakland, we don't have many opportunities to share our stories. Right? The stories that are told about us are often negative, so we wanted to give young people a chance to tell their own stories from their own perspectives, from their own voices, and a way to empower them so they can express themselves.
I never really thought that I would have been able to take it this far, and I feel like this is still just the very beginning. Being able to use my skill to teach other people's skills, to hopefully give them a second chance at something later on in life is amazing. Also being able to take the skills that I learned and provide for my family, that's like the most important thing in life.
I love the fact that Vincent has now stepped up and runs the program. You know, I started working with Vince when he was, I think, like 12, 13 years old. He was a student in the program, and just seeing him grow over the years, it's been really rewarding. I appreciate being a part of that process, and I feel very confident and relieved that it was someone like Vince that was taking over.
You know, I still wake up sometimes like, damn, I run a program. I run a program at a nonprofit that's responsible for doing so much good work in the community, that's responsible for producing so much good work in the communities and guiding so many young people. This is probably the last place that many people thought I would be, working with kids and, giving back and doing something positive. And so it feels great.
It came a long way because of Vince. Look where he at now. Look what he do now. He's that role model that we had, you get what I'm saying? I didn't go that route, but I went on another route for an all-girls program. It's kind of similar to what we do. We just giving back to the community.
And make a difference, that's how Streetside is, that's what we do. It got to do with the community and what youth is involved with these days.
Being in the Streetside helped me out a lot because the mentor that I had, Peter Kim, was so good, it made me want to go follow his footsteps. So instead of running Streetside, I went to go help out a nonprofit organization called Bunte Slay, and it's an all-girls program that help at-risk youth that's being sexually exploited or at risk of being sexually exploited. So working with young girls that's, getting them out the streets.
At work and stuff, a lot of kids is on like MySpace or chat lines and out there in the streets, getting reeled in to be sex workers.
Streetside started it all. I started Streetside in 2003. I did a short documentary called See Me In, See Me Out about Cambodian gang members in Oakland. And it happened to be like a hit, and they started going to like film festivals to win best short documentary in like 2000. I was 13 years old.
What's up, y'all? This is Maria Shan, and this little short documentary I did like 3-4 years ago. Some on, Cambodian immigrants, how they struggle these days up in the town called Oakland. You feel me?
I just want to give back, basically. I just wanted to be a role model that I always wanted when I was young.
Welcome and thank you for tuning into Streetside News. My name is Jasmine.
And my name is Steven. Today in the news, we talk to some youth about juvenile probation and get their story about what it means to be on probation.
We also talk to some local folks about violence and death in the East Bay and how it's affecting the community.
Then we go to our partners in the field. First, Nugent brings us a story of one man's fight with the system. Then we go to Christine and talk about teenage pregnancy.
We found that this particular population of young people had the most kind of rawest, but also the more engaging, more interesting stories that needed to be told.
I think these videos should be played out for people so that they can see them, because a lot of times they talk about shit that people should know about.
People have new ideas. These kids coming in bringing new ideas, or it makes it stronger. It makes Streetside stronger. That's what I like about this community is like everybody put their mind into it, make a difference, and that's what I like.
It did give me a different perspective on life and made me look at things different and take the time to actually think about something before I do it. So in a way it kind of did, but I'm still, growing.
It had me think about doing something that I never thought about doing. So once I did this, I started thinking about how far can I really go with it though? How much can I do with this camera?
And it made me realize video shooting, it opened doors to me. If I really took the time and effort to learn that, I can really be the one, directing or creating all these movies or TV shows people are watching.
But in here, you learning something new, and it helps you build a career and pursue things that you want to do.
Actually, I'm trying to go to San Francisco State University right now for this camera, this video production stuff.
And I'm actually attending school in San Francisco, trying to further my future with cameras and film and production.
I think Streetside Productions in particular is important because it gives young people outlets for expression. It gives young people ways to make money, legally. It gives young people a chance to do something positive, right? To be safe. I think in general, programs need to be supported.
I think programs like this, they gotta stay around, One that keeps young people with a voice, you know what I mean, in terms of putting out different media that that they influence. Two, it keeps them busy and give them something positive to do and keep them off the streets.
These kind of programs are extremely important for young people, giving them a place to be every day, a responsibility of being able to be accountable for their actions and their whereabouts, and to teach them a skill that is extremely important for all youth. You know, even if they're not choosing video as their career, the fact that they came through a program, learned something, applied what they learned, and produced something tangible for people to see and people to give feedback and support, that is an invaluable process for young people.
Plus, ain't it powerful to see all the local folks working in the community to create a change?